11 p.m. The doorbell rang. I got up from the couch. Who could it be at this hour? The moment I opened the door, I froze. My daughter was standing there, covered in bruises. Black and blue marks on her face. Scratches on her arms. Her clothes torn to shreds. And she was holding newborn baby Emma. "Mom, help me." My daughter collapsed into my arms. But the story goes back 2 weeks. My name is Linda Carter. I'm 58 years old. I worked as a nurse for 35 years. Lost my husband 10 years ago and raised my daughter Sarah alone. 3 years ago, my daughter got married to Mark Miller, a 30-year-old accountant. He seemed like a nice man. But when I first met his mother Patricia, something felt off. "Linda, we're so happy to have Sarah join our family. I'll take care of her. I know everything about raising children." "Thank you. But Sarah's a grown woman." "Of course. But a mother's guidance is always needed. Especially when she becomes a mother herself." Those words stuck with me. But my daughter seemed happy. I didn't say anything. 2 weeks ago, my daughter gave birth to a baby girl. Her name was Emma. I rushed to the hospital. "Mom. This is Emma." My daughter's face was glowing. "She's beautiful, Sarah." I gazed at the baby. Tiny fingers. Tiny nose. But Patricia pushed her way in. "Let me hold her. I'm the grandmother." Patricia snatched the baby from my hands. "Sarah, you need to rest. I'll take care of Emma. You focus on recovering." "But No. Too much activity is bad for your milk. This is traditional postpartum care." I felt uneasy. "Sarah, are you okay with this?" Mother Patricia knows best." There was hesitation in my daughter's voice. After my daughter was discharged, contact stopped. I called every day. But Sarah didn't answer. Mark answered the phone. "Linda, Sarah is resting. My mother is taking care of her. She can't talk right now. Can I come visit?" "Not now. Sarah needs a quiet environment. My mother says visitors are bad for postpartum recovery." "I'm her mother." "I know. But my mother knows what's best. She raised me. She knows what to do." I grew anxious. But my daughter was an adult. I decided to wait. A week later, I got a call from Sarah's friend. "Linda, I'm worried about Sarah." I went to her house, but Patricia wouldn't let me in. She said Sarah is resting and can't see anyone. "It's been 2 weeks. This isn't normal." "I know. I'm trying to reach her too. Something's wrong. I can feel it." I felt the same thing. As a former nurse, I know about postpartum care. Not letting anyone see her for 2 weeks is abnormal. I made up my mind. I have to see my daughter. If Patricia won't let me in, I'll find another way. But that night, everything changed. 11 p.m. The doorbell rang. The moment I opened the door, I froze. My daughter was standing there, covered in bruises, holding her newborn baby. "Mom, help me." My daughter broke down crying. I hugged my daughter. My hands were shaking. "Sarah. What happened?" I couldn't stay there anymore. My daughter was trembling as she held the baby. I started checking my daughter's injuries. As a former nurse, this was clearly evidence of abuse. Bruises on her face. From 3 days ago. Scratches on her arms. From a week ago. Marks on her wrists. Signs of restraint. She'd lost 10 pounds. Malnourished. Who did this to you? Patricia. Mark's mother. My body shook with anger. But I had to stay calm. Tell me everything. I held my daughter's hand. My daughter began to speak, trembling. After I gave birth, Patricia said I had to stay in bed. That moving around would be bad for my milk. I stared at my daughter's face. The bruises were painful to look at. And then, she locked me in the bedroom. My heart started racing. Locked you in? With a key. She only brought me food once a day. Just salad. A small salad. My fists clenched. She said eating too much was bad for the baby. That it was traditional postpartum care. My face grew hot. That's not postpartum care. It's abuse. What about Emma? Patricia took her from me. My daughter's voice trembled. She said I was an unfit mother. That she would raise Emma. That she was hers. My blood boiled. Did Mark know? My daughter looked down. He saw everything. But didn't stop her. I stood up. Walked around the room. Took a deep breath. I had to stay calm. Your phone. Taken. By Patricia. I looked at my daughter. Sarah, you were brave to escape. My daughter cried. Today, while Patricia was napping, I escaped through the window. With Emma. From the second floor. My heart ached. You were courageous. You protected Emma. But you're safe now. I'm here. My daughter hugged me. Thank you, Mom. I rubbed my daughter's back. But inside, anger was swirling. I took out my phone. Called Mark. He answered on the third ring. What? His voice was cold. Mark. Sarah is at my house. She's covered in bruises. What happened? I don't know anything. I froze. What do you mean? She's probably exaggerating. My mother was just helping with postpartum care. Postpartum care. She has bruises all over her body. I have to go. The phone went dead. I stared at my phone. My hands were shaking. He knew. He watched. But he did nothing. I looked at my daughter. She was exhausted, holding the baby on the couch. Sarah, you rest here tonight. I'll take care of everything. But Mom. Trust me. I won't let them get away with this. My daughter nodded. I made up my mind. I'll bring them to justice. But for that, I need evidence. The next morning, I took my daughter to the hospital. I was holding Emma. A doctor examined my daughter. These are clear signs of abuse. The doctor frowned. Bruises, malnutrition, dehydration. How long has she been in this condition? 2 weeks. Since she gave birth. The doctor shook his head. This is serious. We need to document everything. The doctor began creating a detailed medical report. Facial contusions. 3 days old. Scratches on both arms. 1 week old. Restraint marks on wrists. Multiple occasions. Malnutrition. BMI 16.5. Dangerous level. Dehydration. The doctor looked at me. She was starved and restrained. This is criminal abuse. Thank you, doctor. I received a copy of the medical report. Evidence number 1. After leaving the hospital, I said to my daughter, Sarah, I need to ask you something. What? I'm giving you this camera. I showed her a small pendant camera. I want you to go back to Mark's house. What? I can't go back there. My daughter's face went pale. I know. But we need evidence. Without video evidence, it becomes your word against theirs. I'll be watching the whole time. If anything happens, I'll call the police immediately. My daughter trembled. For Emma. I'll do it. I squeezed my daughter's hand. Just 24 hours. Can you do it? My daughter nodded. That afternoon, my daughter returned to Mark's house. I sat in front of my laptop at home, watching the footage in real time. Patricia appeared on screen. You're back. Good. Hand over the baby. My heart raced. I want to hold her. My daughter's voice was small. You're an unfit mother. Go to your room. Now. But. On screen, Patricia slapped my daughter. I gasped. I said now. My daughter headed to the room. My fists shook. But I had to wait. I needed more evidence. An hour later, the next footage. Patricia brought a small salad. This is your meal. That's all. You're producing breast milk. Eating too much makes the milk bad. This is traditional postpartum care. But I'm hungry. Don't complain. In my day, we didn't eat for weeks. I stared at the screen. This is torture. That night, Mark came home. My daughter approached him. Mark, please, your mother won't let me see Emma. Mother is doing the right thing. On screen, my daughter cried. She hit me. You probably deserved it. Just listen to what my mother says. Mark left the room. I clutched my phone. Enough. I had enough evidence. But there was one more thing I needed. Patricia's past. I called a private investigator. I want to know everything about Patricia Miller. Her past, secrets, everything. The investigator answered. Understood. 3 days later, the investigator came to my house. I found something very interesting. The investigator spread out documents. Divorce records from 1993. Court records of custody loss. Patricia Miller lost custody of her first child in 1993. She had severe postpartum depression. Couldn't take care of the baby. Her husband divorced her and got full custody. She's been hiding this for 30 years. I understood everything. She lost her own baby. So now she's trying to take Sarah's baby. Trying to be the perfect grandmother to make up for her past. Exactly. I stared at the documents. I had all the evidence. Hidden camera footage. Doctor's medical report. Patricia's past records. I had it all. Tomorrow, I'm going to their house. And I'll end this. The next day, I headed to Mark's house. Carrying a laptop, tablet, and envelope full of documents. Got out of the car. Took a deep breath. I had to stay calm. But my heart was burning with anger. I knocked on the door. Patricia opened it. Linda. What do you want? There was wariness in her voice. We need to talk. Now's not a good time. I pushed the door open. Now. Patricia stepped back. Mark came out of the living room. Linda, you can't just barge in. Sit down. Both of you. My voice was low and quiet. But deadly. The two exchanged glances. Then slowly sat on the couch. I placed the laptop on the coffee table. I have something to show you. What is this? Patricia's voice was shaking. Watch. I opened the laptop. Footage appeared on screen. The scene of Patricia hitting my daughter. You're an unfit mother. Patricia's voice from the screen. Next footage. The scene of handing over just a small salad. Eating too much is bad for your milk. Next footage. To my daughter holding the baby. She's mine. The color drained from Patricia's face. Where did you get this? Sarah was wearing a hidden camera. I saw everything. Mark stood up. You spied on us. I recorded you abusing my daughter. Starving her. Restraining her. Taking her baby. I pulled out the next documents. The doctor's medical report. But that's not all. I slammed the documents on the table. Divorce records from 1993. Court records of custody loss. Patricia Miller. Divorced 1993. Lost custody of child due to postpartum depression. Deemed unfit mother by the court. Patricia froze. How did you get that? You lost your own baby 30 years ago. You were depressed. Couldn't take care of it. Your husband took the child from you. So now you're trying to take Sarah's baby. Trying to be the perfect grandmother to make up for the past. I spread out the court judgment. Patricia Miller lost parenting ability due to postpartum depression. Custody granted to father. Tears filled Patricia's eyes. You called Sarah an unfit mother. But it was you who was unfit. You're the one who lost custody. You're the one who failed. I just wanted to do it right this time. I wanted to be a good grandmother. I wanted to prove. By abusing my daughter. Starving her. Taking her baby. That's a good grandmother. That's a monster. Patricia broke down crying. But I didn't look at her. I looked at Mark. And you. Mark trembled. You saw everything. Your mother hitting your wife. Starving her. Taking her baby. But you did nothing. I thought my mother was doing the right thing. Your mother lost custody of her own child. The court deemed her an unfit mother. And yet you left Sarah and Emma with her. I pulled out the doctor's medical report. Sarah has bruises, malnutrition, dehydration. The doctor said this is criminal abuse. You allowed it. I didn't know it was that bad. You didn't want to know. You chose your mother over your wife. You're just as guilty as she is. I took out my phone. I'm calling the police. No. Please. Patricia screamed. You abused my daughter. Took her baby. You'll pay the price. I dialed 911. Please, Linda, let's talk. Mark stood up. Talk. Was there talk when your mother locked my daughter up for 2 weeks? Did you talk when my daughter begged for help? Hello, police. I want to report domestic abuse. Patricia collapsed on the floor. Please, please. The address is 327 Maple Drive, Aurora. The victim is my daughter. I have evidence. Video footage, medical records, everything. Understood. We'll send a patrol car right away. Thank you. I hung up. 10 minutes later, I heard police sirens. Patricia was trembling. Mark was pale as a ghost. The doorbell rang. I opened the door. 2 police officers stood there. We received a call about domestic abuse. Yes. I made the call. I have evidence. I showed them the laptop. The officers watched the footage. Their faces became stern. This is clear evidence of abuse. I also handed them the doctor's medical report. The officer approached Patricia. Patricia Miller, you're under arrest for domestic abuse, assault, and unlawful restraint. No. I was just trying to help. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court. The officer handcuffed Patricia. The other officer looked at Mark. And you, sir? You witnessed this abuse and did nothing. I didn't think. You're under arrest for aiding and abetting abuse. Mark was handcuffed too. As they were being taken away, Patricia looked at me. Rachel, please. I said coldly. You brought this on yourself. The patrol car left. I stood alone in the quiet house. My knees gave out. I sat on the couch. Tears overflowed. But this time they weren't tears of anger. They were tears of relief. My daughter is safe. Emma is safe. And justice was served. I took out my phone. Called my daughter. Sarah. Mom. It's all over. They've been arrested. You're safe now. My daughter started crying. Thank you, Mom. Thank you. Come home. Emma too. I'll be right there. I hung up. I looked out the window. The sun was setting. It had been a long day. But it wasn't over yet. There would be a trial. And I would make sure they could never get near my daughter again. I swore it. 3 months later. The trial day arrived. I sat next to Sarah. My daughter wore a black suit. Her color had improved. Her weight had returned. But in her eyes, fear still remained. You'll be okay. I held my daughter's hand. Thank you, Mom. The judge entered. All rise. We stood up. Please be seated. The judge took her seat. An older female judge. With stern eyes. We will now begin the trial of Patricia Miller and Mark Miller. The prosecutor stood up. Your Honor, the prosecution calls its first witness. Linda Carter. I stood up. Walked to the witness stand. Was sworn in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. I sat down. The entire courtroom was looking at me. Patricia sat in the front row. Eyes downcast. Mark beside her. Face pale. The prosecutor approached. Mrs. Carter, what is your relationship to the victim, Sarah? I'm her mother. And what happened at 11 p.m. 2 weeks ago? I took a deep breath. My daughter came to my house. Covered in bruises. Malnourished. Holding her newborn baby. The courtroom murmured. What did she say? Mom, help me. What did you do? I immediately took her to the hospital. A doctor examined her and created a medical report. The prosecutor picked up documents. Your Honor, I submit Exhibit 1. The doctor's medical report. The judge received the documents. Put on her glasses and began reading. Facial contusions, scratches on both arms, restraint marks on wrists, malnutrition, dehydration. The judge frowned. This is serious. The prosecutor looked at me. What did you do after that? I had my daughter wear a hidden camera to gather evidence. The courtroom murmured again. And what did that camera record? Everything. The prosecutor nodded to the judge. Your Honor, I submit Exhibit 2. Hidden camera footage. A large screen was set up in the courtroom. The footage began playing. The scene of Patricia hitting my daughter. You're an unfit mother. Go to your room. The courtroom fell silent. Next footage. The scene of handing over a small salad. This is your meal. Eating too much is bad for your milk. Next footage. Patricia holding the baby. She's mine. I'll raise her. Small sighs were heard from the courtroom. Next footage. The scene of Mark coming home. My daughter pleading with her husband. Mark, please, your mother hit me. Mark saying coldly. You probably deserved it. Just listen to what my mother says. The courtroom buzzed. The footage stopped. The judge removed her glasses. This is serious evidence of abuse. The prosecutor returned to me. Mrs. Carter, did you discover anything else? Yes. I hired a private investigator to look into Patricia Miller's past. And what did you discover? In 1993, Patricia Miller lost custody of her own child due to postpartum depression. The court deemed her an unfit mother. The courtroom erupted. Your Honor. Objection. Patricia's lawyer stood up. Overruled. Continue. The judge waved her hand. The prosecutor pulled out documents. Your Honor, I submit Exhibit 3. Court records from 1993 regarding custody loss. The judge received the records. Began reading. Her face became increasingly stern. Patricia Miller lost parenting ability due to postpartum depression. Custody granted to father. The judge looked at Patricia. Mrs. Miller, is this true? Patricia stood up trembling. Yes, but I wanted to do it right this time. I wanted to be a good grandmother. By abusing my daughter. Starving her. Taking her baby. The judge's voice was sharp. I. Patricia broke down crying. Sit down. The judge said coldly. The judge closed the records. I will now deliver my verdict. The courtroom fell silent. Patricia Miller, you are guilty. The charges are domestic abuse, assault, unlawful restraint, and attempted kidnapping of a baby. Patricia covered her face. The sentence is as follows. 3 years in prison, no parole. $100,000 fine. Permanent restraining order against Sarah Carter and Emma. Mandatory psychiatric treatment. Please. Patricia's voice shook. You abused a postpartum mother. You should have been judged before this trial. The judge looked at Mark. Mark Miller. Mark stood up trembling. You are guilty of aiding and abetting abuse and failure to protect. The sentence is as follows. 1 year in prison, 2 years probation. $50,000 fine. Mandatory counseling. Mark sank down. Furthermore. The judge looked at documents. Sarah Miller, now Sarah Carter, you filed for divorce. Yes, Your Honor. My daughter stood up. Approved. The divorce is effective immediately. Thank you. The judge continued. Sarah Carter is awarded the following. Full custody of Emma. Divorce from Mark Miller. $500,000 in damages. The marital home. Full child support. My daughter started crying. But this time they were tears of joy. Thank you, thank you. I hugged my daughter. The judge struck the gavel. Court is adjourned. The courtroom stood. As Patricia was being led away, she looked at me. Linda, please, forgive me. I said nothing. Just watched. She would pay for her crimes. As Mark passed by, he looked at my daughter. Sarah. My daughter turned away. You're not my husband anymore. Don't ever speak to me again. Mark hung his head. And was led away. We left the courtroom. Outside, it was sunny. The sun was shining. My daughter took a deep breath. It's over, Mom. It's really over. Yes. You're safe now. The lawyer approached. Mrs. Carter, excellent testimony. Thank you. The $500,000 in damages will be transferred within 2 weeks. The deed to the house will arrive next week. My daughter smiled. Thank you. We headed to the parking lot. My daughter took my arm. Mom, if it weren't for you. It's okay. It's all over. A new life begins now. My daughter nodded. And we began walking toward a bright future. 1 year later. I was at my daughter's new house. 3 blocks from mine. A white single-family home. A small yard. Bought with the damages from the trial. Mom, here's some tea. My daughter handed me a cup with a smile. Thank you. I drank the tea. Looked out the window. Emma was playing in the yard. Nearly 2 years old now. Grandma. Emma waved. I waved back. She's growing up healthy. Full of smiles. How's work? I asked my daughter. Going well. Remote graphic design work. I can do it while taking care of Emma. That's good. And Mom, I've made new friends. A mother's group. We meet at the park every week. My daughter's eyes sparkled. The fear from before was gone. What about Patricia? My daughter said quietly. In prison. 2 more years. Do you want to see her? My daughter shook her head. No. She doesn't belong in my life. Or Emma's. I nodded. Mark? On probation. Apparently going to counseling every week. But he doesn't contact me. There's a restraining order. Good. Yes. We drank our tea quietly. The doorbell rang. My daughter stood up. Who could that be? She opened the door. A delivery man stood there. Sarah Carter. Yes. This is for you. The delivery man handed her a package. My daughter opened the package. Inside was a picture book. Who's it from? I don't know. My daughter read the card. Her face clouded. Who? Patricia. I stood up. What does it say? My daughter showed me the card. Dear Sarah and Emma. I'm so sorry. I hope someday you can forgive me. Love, Grandma Patricia. My daughter trembled. She's still. It's okay. I hugged my daughter. She's in prison. She can't get near you. This is just a picture book. But let's throw it away. I took the picture book. Put it in the trash. The card too. My daughter took a deep breath. Thank you, Mom. Always. I'll protect you. Forever. Just then, Emma came into the room. Mommy. Grandma. Come play. My daughter smiled. Let's go, Mom. We went out to the yard. Emma threw the ball. My daughter caught it. Laughter echoed. The sun was shining. I looked at my daughter and Emma. They're happy. Safe. And I'm here. No matter what. This is real family. Not blood. Love. And we have so much love. Patricia tried to make up for her past. But her methods were wrong. She became an abuser. And lost everything. But we gained everything. Freedom. Safety. Love. And hope. Grandma. Catch. Emma threw the ball. I caught it, laughing. Got it. My daughter smiled. Thank you, Mom. You saved us. I hugged my daughter. Always. I'm your mother. That's my job. My daughter rested her head on my shoulder. I love you, Mom. I love you too, Sarah. And we began living our new life. The wounds healed. The fear disappeared. And the future shone bright.